Aloha everyone, what is really good my dudes? Today is December 13th, 2021. We got another RuneScape update for y'all. Today we see the start of the Presents from the Sledge Christmas theme event. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's go!
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, before we get into the event, two quick things I want to touch on. First off, it is the second week in Frank's free deaths. During this week, any deaths at the first two God Wars dungeons will be free. So that includes the 4 factions of each God Wars dungeon: Gwadar, Kriara, Krill, Ziliana for the first, Grigorovic, Hellware, Twin Furies, and Vindicta for the second, as well as their 5th generals, Nex and Telos. Keep in mind this does not include Nex AOD, as that was last week's free death. The next thing I want to touch on is Prime Gaming for this month. So starting tomorrow, if you are a Amazon Prime member and you have it linked up with your Twitch account for Prime Gaming, you can get yourself an Umbral Siren outfit, 7 days of free membership, and a currency pack. So do check out the Prime Gaming rewards tomorrow, December 14th, if you're interested in that. With those two announcements out of the way, let's talk about Presents from the Sledge. If you want to get started in this event, head on over to the Grand Exchange to talk to Posty and Parcel Pete in the northeast corner. As you go about the world skilling, killing, things like that, as well as through Treasure Hunter, you're going to be earning these wrapping paper scraps. Every time you hand in 200 of these wrapping papers, you will receive a random prize. There are different tiered prizes that you roll for at random. If you receive the highest tier prize, you have a chance of receiving the elusive green Santa hat, an all-new limited and tradable rare. Considering this is a random gift, unlike the Golden Party hat, it's very likely that this is going to cost much more, so I can see this being far more sought after than the Golden Party hat itself. So once again, just doing your normal skilling throughout RuneScape is going to earn you these scraps. Every time you hand in 200 to the Pete's, you'll roll for a prize. And that's pretty much it. Good luck to everybody out there trying to get a green Santa hat. I wish you the best. Now, having said that, we're going to shift on gears over to the patch notes and see what's changed with today's update, so let's go ahead and check it out. Starting off with Secret Santa. Stacks of gifted items in Secret Santa may now be split up between multiple recipients. Items gifted by Iron Man in the Secret Santa event will now be given to other players. Irons can still not claim any Secret Santa gift, however. Looking at the Advent calendar, they fixed an error that would occur when the player used an XP lamp without logging out after the Advent calendar event began. The tutorial and Advent calendar UIs no longer clash when relogging without having closed the initial tutorial message. The Double Dragon chest promotion will now reset correctly when it runs at the weekend, and the progression track now resets as expected. Looking at daily challenges with the bonus weekly rewards, they fixed an issue which allowed Iron Man accounts to receive combat dummies from the daily challenge system. Having a look at Amanishi, World Map has been implemented a new category under activities, boss encounters. The drop-down category includes boss encounters, elite dungeons, and raids. A couple of changes to Elder God Wars Dungeon. They fixed an issue with the color of the extra action button in Elder God Wars Dungeon. The Scripture of Jas now stores damage after all combat calculations are performed. As a result, it will now correctly store damage from damage over time abilities and account for damage modifications such as vulnerability. The chance of receiving a unique drop from Corrosis as well as Archglacior has been increased slightly. The reward scaling for higher enrage and higher kill streaks has also been made more lucrative, whilst removing some value from the lower enrage and kill streak drops. In order to benefit from these changes to the Archglacior, you need to start a new kill streak. For the mobile client, on the God Wars Reputation interface on mobile, users can now see the preview description for the Reputation unlocks. Looking at Treasure Hunter promotion rewards are only affected by the multiplier of the promotion in which they were won. The Treasure Hunter rewards are no longer influenced by the previous promotion's multipliers. When not selected, Invention no longer receives the same amount of XP as the selected skill. A couple of changes to the store. There was an issue fixed where pressing the back button on the shop tab of the marketplace pushes the player into the game, and they removed the Sunbather's hat neck shade to prevent clipping issues. Moving on to some other fixes. The top tip on the sinkhole minigame no longer overlaps with other UI elements. Players are now able to scroll the Golden Party hat hunt list using both the list and the scroll bar. Fixed an issue where some players would would receive a message about a new Manifest City quest before unlocking the ability to start them, prevented Frank from blocking player movement in Death's office and War's retreat. The archaeologist NPC at Acropolis has been removed from the game. The island of Kamishima now renders correctly inside the player-owned port's map interface. Removed a duplicated message that occurred when attempting to equip an unwearable item. Offhand Shadowglaive was dealing less damage than expected when paired with a non-glaive main hat. This has been corrected. The scavenger perk is now triggered on Prifdinus Elves. Fixed an issue with the Sap Spirit Curse, which was draining 8% of your opponent's adrenaline rather than the intended 10%. Using a Death Touch Dart on a Blood Nihil while it heals will no longer give XP at the end of the kill. They've updated the icon for the War's Retreat teleport. And finally, the effects of the Pterosaur Maul will no longer boost abilities applied with Greater Barge if the player is not wielding the weapon. That is it for your patch notes. Links to everything discussed in this video will be down in the description below. Head on over there to check them out. With that, I'm going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I am out. Aloha.